So welcome back. In today's class, we will learn some problems in C++. We will focus on the problems with arrays. So we have problems for the introduction, the declaration and the initialization of the array, input output operations in array, the sum and average of array elements, the problems to find the largest element in array, smallest element in array, reversing the elements in array, and how to merge two arrays, and some other operations like searching in an array and sorting array, and the use of pointers in array. We'll see the main problems. So the first problem is to find. So the first problem is to find, or it is mainly to demonstrate how to give an input and output to the array. We'll see the problem. This is the problem, and this reading marked won't be read by the compilers. It is for your understanding. We'll start. So as you know, we want to give some input to the array and to get it out. So hash include input output string using namespace std with the semicolon, integer main bracket opening with the curly bracket. Okay, the main things comes here. So we are going to define the array size and integers here. So integer number 5. So please remember the array syntax. It was like the data type, the name of the array, and the size of the array. So we'll be taking the integers. The array name is number, it's of size 5, and you have the another variable called I. So I'll tell you why this I is used. Okay. So the next line, cout, enter 5 numbers. So this will be visible in the monitor. So there is a procedure to input the values. You can't enter at a stretch. So for that one, we are using this for loop. Okay, so this for loop from here to here is for entering the values into the array. So we know the syntax of for loop. For I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. So please remember the post increment operators. Inside the curly bracket we have C in number I. So first we are going to enter the first value. That means whatever we are entering after showing these enter 5 numbers in the display, the first number will go to the 0th position. So it will come like 0th position, first, second, third, and fourth. Because when the value is equal to 5, this loop will exit from this for loop. Okay, I'll show you the output also parallelly. Okay, so enter 5 numbers, ending with the colon. So using this for loop, we are entering 3, which will go to the 0th place, 9 first place, 5 second place, 2 third place, and the 4 in the 4th place. So we reached till this point. Now suppose we want to get the array or get the numbers in this order. So this is actually user defined. The user can get it in different ways. So as I am showing this output, we will see how this is achieved. Okay, so for I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus, in bracket cout number. So cout number will be coming here. Okay, then in inverted commas, number I, end line. So in the first loop, number is equal to will come. So number I. So the number is stored in the 0th position. That is 3 will come first. Then it is incremented by 1. Again come to the main control. So then I change to 1. So then number is equal to in the first position. 9. So this will be continued. You see, an n line is here. That's why we are getting every new numbers in a new line. If there is no end line, all will be printed in the same line. So this is the procedure. It's a simple procedure because we are going to, or we are inputting only a one-dimensional array in this one. So if you had a two-dimensional array, you may need two more integers, say some I and j. That we'll see in the next problem. Hope this is clear to you. This one also is a simple problem. This only changes to find the sum and average. So everything is same like the previous problem. Include input output stream namespace std integer main, integer number, size is 5. We defined an integer called I, and sum equal to 0. This is to initialize that there is no sum. Then float average, because average may be decimal value. That's why they are defining the average as in a float. Okay, see out enter 5 numbers like the previous. For I equal to 0, I less than 5 plus plus C number. We know these things. I equal to 0, I less than 5 plus plus C out number, number I, n line, column numbers. Okay, till this we know. Then see, after getting the value out. Okay, so in this like the second loop itself, they are storing every value into the sum. So sum is equal to sum plus number I. So sum initially 0 value, sum is equal to 0 plus number I. I value means the value in the 0th position. So it is 3. So in the first loop it will be sum is 3. Second loop sum will be 3 plus 4. Third loop 3 plus 4 plus 1. Like that the sum is also automatically added. Okay. Once the loop is exited, it means when the I value becomes 5 because of this post increment operator, then comes the control out and we have average equal to sum by 5. Because as we know, only we are going to input 5 numbers, we know it will be by 5. Okay. So average equal to sum by 5. See out sum n line. So directly, so you can compare with the output, the way of formatting. Enter 5 numbers, the previous one number. This is similar to the previous one. Sum is equal to 16. So this command, this orange underlined command, will give you the sum of all these values, and average is equal to all divided by 5. So please see that the average is equal to 3.2.000. This is only possible because we define the average in the float. If it was integer, only 3 will be displayed. This decimals won't be displayed in the output dialog box. Hope this is clear for you. It's just a modification of the previous problem. Okay, the next one is to find the largest and maximum element in the array. We're going to input multiple numbers and we want to see which is the highest number. So the first level is very similar to the previous one. Include input output stream using namespace std, integer main, bracket, integer 5, integer number 5, I. We are going to define one more variable called large. See out enter elements of array. So this is a end line or new line symbol. For I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. This is same. Yeah. Then see out of the first loop. So this also, you should see this output box also. Here the user don't need to print all the values like before. Like before, he need to print every numbers in the output box, but here he need only the largest element. That's why we are stopping with only one for loop for entering the values. We don't need a for loop for getting the values out. Okay, but we need a for loop to check the largest number among these individual numbers, and then that will be displayed out. Instead of that, we don't have any loop which will ask to print every numbers one by one. Okay, so this is clear. So till now we have entered the elements. So large is equal to number 0. So we are initializing, or we are thinking that the first number, whatever number you are inputting in the 0th position, is the large number. So let us so this we are giving the computer information that 5 is the largest number. Then he is then the coding is like for I equal to 0, I less than 5 plus plus. So then comes inside the for loop there is an if command. If number I is greater than large, so number I, you can see 0 here. So initially 0. If 5 is less than 5, greater than 5, then large equal to number I. That means large is equal to number 5. It will come. In the second loop, I equal to 1, the second value 2 will come. Is 2 greater than 5? No. So this is not correct. So this will be keep on doing, and only when 7 is coming, when 7 is greater than 5, yes, so large is equal to 7 will come. Then 1 and 3 are lesser than 7, so the 7 value will be the output value from this one. Then cout largest element equal to large. So largest element is equal to, as it is in double inverted commas, this will be displayed as such, and the large value from this for loop will be displayed here. Hope it's clear for you. The same principle, but in a different way, to find the smallest minimum element in the array. We'll see the output also. But why I'm showing output is that because we need to customize the input or the statements to get this output. Okay, so it is user's choice how to print out the values, but I just want both this because to show you clearly what you need to input here to get this corresponding result. So the headers, stream, namespace, main, number I. So you have small here. Previously you had large. Then everything is here. Then the same thing. We are assuming that the first value is small. Then for I, number I less than small. If 9 is less than 9, so that condition will come. So it will be keep on checking. 2 will come in the next step. So 2 will be there in the storage. And then when 7 comes less than 2, not correct. 6 comes less than 2, not correct. So this 2 will be keep on continuing till this loop is exiting, and the value will be coming out as smallest element as the small. This is spelling mistake. So this should be E or should be there. Whatever is here inside this double inverted commas will come here. So the value is 2. So we will see a different problem. How to reverse the elements of an array. Suppose you input 5 to 3 and you want to get 3 to 5. How to do that? I'm jumping into this problem. IOStream, namespace std, integer main. We are defining integer array. So this array will be the input array, and this is the reverse array. We are defining an integer called I. J is equal to 4. So this thing, being a beginner, you can keep this space even vacant when you are doing a new problem. So after you, or first you have to think for the algorithm. That means how to do this one. So based on the results and your mode of idea or the flowchart or your intuition, you can define the different variables. So let's see the output also parallelly. So he is going to print the enter elements of array 8 to 5 and 6, and he wants to get it 6.5 to 8. This is his idea. So let's see how the user has done that. So he defined an integer I, j is equal to 4. So this is for a reverse operation basically, because you start from 0, 1, 2, 3 increment. So 4 is to reverse the values. We'll see that one. Okay, so for loop is here for entering the element. Yeah. So see out enter elements of arrays. Enter elements of arrays coming in the output box. For I equal to 0, I less than 5 plus plus. So this will allow to enter the values 8, 2, 5, 1, 6. Okay, correct. Then after this for loop, you have again one more for loop. I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. So REV I is equal to ARR I. So that means they are equating the value of array to this one. Okay, so this same thing for I equal to 0, I less than 5 plus plus reverse I is equal to ARR I. So we just transferred the value from the ARR matrix to the REV matrix. We'll see next time. So for I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus, curly bracket, ARR I is equal to REV J. J minus minus. So this is the main reversing operations happening. So in this for loop, they are storing ARRI. So this ARRI is redefining as REV of the J. Okay, then J is minus minus. So what will happen? Initially the value of J is 4. That's already defined here. So in the first case, ARR 0 will be equal to REV of 4. That means here you can see a change. That means in the sixth element, or in another words, okay, this these first two statements. So this ends here. In this statement, what it did is both this 82516 matrix is common in ARR as well as the REV. Okay, then so we have REV is equal to 82516. So in this here in this for loop, they just equalized that ARR I will be having a new value of REV of J. Okay, so 82516 is the REV now, and but J is minus minus. We know initial value of J is 4. So the ARR 0 will be equal to REV of 4. So the fourth element 6 will come to the ARR 0. So this will keep on going, and the ARR I will be very correctly the original matrix. Not the original matrix, but the reverse way, because we are storing in the reverse way, right? Because in here 4 is here, so 6 will come first, so that the 6 1 5 2 8 will come in the here ARR. Okay, then out coming C out, reverse the order of an array. For I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus, C out array. So this is just the procedure to get out the values of the ARRI. So here we reversed this here clearly told this is a reversing operation. This is the entering element. This is an assignment operator of equaling the values. And here the values are directly. So the new ARR will be actually 61528, and the value will be displayed here. Hope it's clear for you. So main operation comes here. This is the reverse operation. There will be another ways to do this problem. Okay, the next one is the merging of an array. We can see what is done here. We have 1 2 3 4 5 array 1, 6 7 8 and 0 array 2. You want to get it in a single array of in this order. So how to do that? We have the C++ program to merge two arrays, include IOStream, namespace std, integer main. So it will define integer a1 having 5 elements, a2 having 5 elements, and this to be merged to get into the a3 having 10 elements. You have two initializations, I equal to 0, j equal to 0. Cout, enter the elements of array. So this is coming in the output box. So we are entering the values of a, first matrix. Similarly, the second matrix. Cout. So here the user needs to print out the values also. That's why here cout enter the elements of array. One is coming here. So we have the first matrix value to be added using the cin statement. We entered the value, and we have the cout enter the elements of array 1. Then we are performing the addition of the second matrix. I equal to 0, I less than 5 plus plus c in a to I. So we ended both the arrays. Then we have the merging operation. So this is the main part of this program. For I equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. If I is less than 5, a3 I is equal to a3 a1 I. So if we know clearly that the yeah, when you think that you have the I equal to 0, j equal to 0 initialized value. For I equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus in curly bracket. If I is less than 5, then a3I. A3 is the new matrix of size 10. A3I is equal to A1 of I. A1 of I is the matrix we have. The first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matrix. So if the I value is less than 5, it will be the A3I is equal to A1 of I. Else, so if the value of I is increasing from 5 onwards, it means 5 is not less than 5. So the fifth position onwards, we have A3I is equal to A2J. It's very clear. So this will execute like till 0, 1, 2, 3, 4th position. A1J will be entered to A3I, and from 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th position, the A3I will be taking the values from the A2J. J plus plus to for this increment, closing bracket. Cout merged array is for I is equal to 0. We have the values. So very clear. We have this for loop for entering the elements. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4 is the values we entered. This session is for entering the elements in array 2. This, but it's showed array 1. Then the values will be entered in the array 2, and we have the operations of merging using if else statement, and then we printed out the merged array. Okay, we will stop for today.